Hi everyone, my name is Bruce Swartz. I'm from Montreal, cold Quebec, Canada. That's right, Montreal, cold Quebec, Canada. A lot of cocktail weather coming down here. I love saying cocktail weather, but I just don't love the cocktail weather. You know, freezing rain, sleet, snow, winds, colds. So they're drastically talking about climate change now, how it's going to affect the world economy. No, it has affected the world economy. Can you imagine the transportation, trades, how we cross things from Canada to the US and all the other countries and boats? We have big boats coming by in the harbor, in and out of Valleyfield, dropping off goods from all around the world and from wherever they come from. Well, with all these storms and the climate change and everything that's going on, it's going to be a little different. We're going to have to start, we're going to have to redesign the system, basically, because the days of us, not having any storms, I think is going to change. The world is cleansing itself, and that's how I definitely see it. I see that the world is cleaning up its act. That's all it's doing. This is what Mother Nature is doing. I believe it's a cycle that happens every so many thousands of years. Has the pollution affected the way that evolution will play out? I think it really has changed things, because pollution, they say that pollution that we're getting now is the pollution that was caused 50 to 100 years ago. So they say there's so many years for it to fall back down, right? Is any of this real? Any of these tests real? The experiments that they've done? Who knows? But either way, we have a moon up there, and is the moon going through pollution changes? Is the moon going through a tidal change? Does the moon have water on it? All these questions that we have, right? Well, we get a lot of findings up on the surface of the moon, and most often we don't know what's up there. But let me tell you, even if we don't know what's up there, it doesn't matter. It's crawling with life. Like I do believe that other celestial objects, if not all of them, are crawling with life. Around a celestial object, people are not realizing that the temperatures sometimes are excruciatingly high. For example, if we were to walk around on the surface of the Earth and there was an area of 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit, we'd die. But the thermosphere is high elevated temperatures that are in the outer thermosphere. There are so many things around the envelope of Earth that would cause probably trouble to anything, being, or craft coming into Earth's atmosphere. It'd probably be the same for us going to the moon. That moon is so long me inhabited. It's crawling with life. And many people are asking, well, how is it that not one other person with a 14-inch telescope knows this? At one point, someone is going to, and it's what I did 2 years ago, is to try to modernize the way we edit photos, try to do it not necessarily differently, but the steps maybe are different, because I'm not using any trickery or anything. And I'm not talking about this video. Of course, you're looking at a very normal, naturally beautiful video, naturally colored, full, for sure. The surface is not saturated. This is an adjustment of exposure. Every telescope, big or small, when you go up on the surface of the moon, by descending the exposure, the colors automatically come out. That's for sure. But some people are waiting for alien disclosure to come out in the media, through the governments and stuff like that. And it's so long me, it's not going to happen. Not that way. It is seeping out slowly, but not for our sake, for their sake. So they're explaining to us some things. When we get disclosure, is it going to be the real thing? You know, are we going to be told the real thing? We might never know, you know. I don't think it's our place to know. We're sort of like zoo animals, you know, in a cage. And for the first time, someone sort of ran into the fence. And that's how I sort of feel that I'm at that fence, which we know as the veil. Because, you know, listen to me. If you're looking at the surface of the moon and you want to know right now what it is that is changing the moon every time we go up, and how come we're not able to pinpoint what it is. I come here every time I go up on the moon. I never see the same thing. And the changes is not the overall gray surface. The changes are in the depths, in the colorful clearings that we can see a lot of changes. For me to prove that, I will, but I will have to accumulate the footage over a period of a few years, right? For sure to be able to show it. Just amazing what I'm seeing on the surface. The closer I get in, the blurrier it is, and the more movement we can see. And that's exactly how we're going to have to endure being able to see the surface. We have no idea how lucky we are to be able to have gotten through the veil and to get a glimpse of the activity underneath. It's very, very real. You guys ever notice how the surface of the moon looks like it's saran wrapped? Like it's all clinging together, meaning the surface features all blend in and smooth out their edges together, like some type of a cloud or smoke is over the surface. You see, the camera is so long we are picking that up, and the camera is seeing an overall white or gray surface, and that's exactly what it's showing us. It's trying to focus in on many things, because when you look at this, even here as we're panning by, people say it's blurry. There's nothing blurry. All the features, the pronounced, detailed features are all clear. It's around these supposed craters and objects that we are seeing the blurs. Add light to smoke, guys, and then take a picture of lights and smoke. Have you guys ever been to a music concert and all the lights and smoke and taken pictures and was so disappointed because there was too many people smoking in the area and you weren't able to get any clear photos? It's just that simple. Simple, common sense, rational reasoning. There's a smoke or haze on the surface of the moon. It's blinding us from being able to see the surface. You see here when we zoom in, triangular craters. Are you noticing the features of the craters? These impacts, meteors, were not geometrical bloody shapes going into the ground. And why are the supposed meteor craters, areas, whatever, that were formed are not cone-shaped? How come they're all coming in like the moon was bombarded overhead? Like a carpet bombing, if you want. We see a lot of holes side by side. For craters to be side by side like that, they were either dug or carpet bombed, right? There's something about the unison of the features of all these structures or objects, natural or not, being side by side on the surface. The fact that they were never mentioned, everything I'm finding that was not mentioned, for me, is a proof that there's something else up there. Some other truth that we weren't told. We have the right to know it, and we're going to, but we're not going to have the information along with it of what we are seeing. That doesn't matter. If we're not made to understand it, we're not made to understand it, but we sure are going to get a chance to see it. It's just that if you're not open-minded, you know, if you're, and I mean really open-minded, guys, I'm stuck on certain things too, certain things that I believe that I'm not going to change to, but I still try to remain open-minded. You know, it's hard to do some research when you're not sure yourself if the research you are doing is for the right reasons. You know, you have to stick to one thing and go with it, but when you're doing the research, but anything that you're finding on the surface, remain open-minded. If we see a hole that's square, it doesn't mean it's actually constructed, but we have to find out the reason why we would be seeing something symmetrical on the surface. But then you find other symmetrical objects on the surface and you say, wait a minute, you know, maybe some of these are constructed. But again, that film, there is a film clinging over the surface, which is what we consider the veil. And John Lear is mentioned many times, could be atmosphere. If you guys don't know John Lear, look him up. He's on social media, on Facebook, and he's all over YouTube. A retired CIA agent and a good friend of many people on social media. So the moon has all these secrets. And I'm here to be able to show them. Anything I'm going to find, I'm going to show it. And sometimes my explanation is just my opinion. Now, take it that way, and no one will be mad. No one will feel offended by my own thoughts, because I'm a human being and I have my own ideals of what is up there too. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not wrong about one thing, and it's that the moon is definitely inhabited. So long me. I've heard John Lear many a times that I've seen on in certain videos that he mentioned that a wheel, some like buried wheels, half buried in the surface. If I'm not mistaken, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I know he often talks about seeing a lot of things on the surface himself, and I want you guys to see this. Look what we're looking at. We're looking at a beautiful industrial surface right now, very hazy, okay, deliberate or not, and look at this. Do you see how symmetrical that is? This is one of thousands of anomalies and weird, odd things that look constructed on the surface. You're not going to tell me that's natural. There's a light source at the end oscillating, and a beam of light going through that smoke in a very symmetrical manner, half arch that you see there on the surface of the moon. We are really close, you know. These are tiny craters. We hardly ever see them. You see how the big light sources around them have more white. Notice the bright ones. Now, first off, look at this crater. Do you understand that if you look at it, you know that it's not a meteor that impacted this area to make that square box or triangular-ish box? They all have geometrical features, symmetrical features, you know, manipulated surface. Here's a light source in the center. Look at this bright one. Look at all the white around it because it's making a lot of smoke, okay? No matter what they're doing up there, they're, you know, industrializing something. Look at all the features. Again here, clouds and dusts. They're always activated, always lit up, these mounds. Natural or not. I mean, we don't have any sources on Earth that are like this. How can there be millions, or anyways, hundreds of thousands of lit up craters, naturally lit sources, and Earth not have any like this? Jacques de Moet, thanks so much for the generous contributions, for being an amazing friend and a part of this community. Thanks to the supporters here that this channel keeps on ticking.